Hello and welcome back to APtimise. In this session, we're going to follow the journey of an invoice through APtimise. This will give you the tools required to automate a number of functions associated with an outsourced bookkeeping offering for your clients, simplifying their accounts payable process down to one-click approvals and authorizations. We're going to highlight the functions that you will perform on behalf of your client within APtimise. We align these functions to the APtimise user profile of Accounting Manager. We will then discuss and demonstrate the easy way in which your clients can approve invoices and authorize payments using the Invoice Approver and Payment Authorizer profiles. Let's start at the very beginning. When a client of yours receives an invoice from their supplier, the invoice should be in PDF or Word format, and the supplier details, including bank details, should be stored within their ERP. When we set up an APtimise account for your clients, a dedicated email address will be created on their behalf to send their invoices to APtimise for optical character recognition, a process which will trigger on receipt and complete within 24 hours. You can view received invoices in the Inbox tab. This email address is available to view for both you and your clients within APtimise. To see this, hover over Settings, click on Company Settings, and the email address will display here. APtimise also has the ability to receive multiple invoices all within one document. You can send this to the email address shown, preceded by the word bulk, B-U-L-K. The OCR will complete in less than 48 hours, where it will populate the capture data into APtimise. Once invoices have been read and captured by the OCR, they will populate into the Invoices tab. APtimise will display the vendor name, due date, invoice number, and purchase orders if applicable on the Invoices tab as a summary, alongside their status on the right-hand side here. One thing to note here is that if there are no attached documents highlighted by a 0 in the document field, then APtimise has pulled across an open invoice which has been manually entered into your client's ERP. If this is old and paid, you should update this within your ERP. If it's new and you're expecting an invoice, you can forward this to the email as you receive it from your supplier. Vendor names will now appear hyperlinked in blue or in black. We'll address the black one first. These are invoices that have been received. APtimise has attempted to validate them against suppliers in your ERP, but they either don't exist yet, in which case we need to add them, or APtimise has identified a mismatch in supplier details. Let's investigate by clicking the invoice number. We can now attempt to validate the vendor name by deleting the characters one by one and waiting for APtimise to preempt and validate the supplier. Now press Save. Once completed, all vendor names in your Invoice tab should now be blue and hyperlinked, which means they are perfectly matched with your ERP. Behind the scenes, APtimise will pull through any default codes set within your client's ERP. This stage is where the Accounting Manager will inspect the invoice details for accuracy on the client's behalf. An alternative view within APtimise is to group invoices by supplier, presenting you with an outstanding invoice total. You post to your ERP by clicking into the invoice. For risk mitigation, APtimise will require you to review invoices separately before posting back to your client's ERP. Let's click into an invoice by clicking once again on the invoice number. You will now be taken to a split screen with the invoice image on the top and individual components of this line item invoice sitting below. APtimise has read, captured, and populated the data for your review. After inspection and any required amendments, you can post by ticking the Post to ERP box at either the top right or the bottom left of the Invoice Details section underneath the invoice image. If the client requires invoices to be approved by managers or budget holders prior to posting back to the ERP, this approval routing can be outlined on the invoice. It can also be set at vendor level, so invoices are automatically routed to an approver. In this case, upon pressing Save, an email will be received by an approver with details of all invoices they are responsible for. These can now be approved in bulk or individually. Now scroll up and press Save. Our invoice has now been sent to APtimise, read, captured, validated, reviewed, and posted back to the client's ERP. We are now ready to schedule payments for our clients. APtimise will instantaneously update the client's ERP, at which point we have the option to pick a selection or select all, click the drop-down, select Pay, and press the green button with an arrow to submit. The right-hand side will now populate with our payments. We can action immediately by not setting a due date, for which APtimise will execute as a faster payment if selected by default. By clicking on Not Set, we open up scheduling options. We can select the payment date on the calendar. APtimise will notify you of the date at which your client qualifies for an early payment discount and also the due date. Please confirm, where APtimise will group your payments and give you an account summary of before and after you press Submit. Here ends the role of the accounting manager in this process, and we submit to our clients for approval and authorization. We are now going to highlight the functions that your client will perform in APtimise. We're going to log in and refer to this role as a payment authorizer. Then show you the easy way in which your clients can approve, reject, hold a payment, directly view the invoice image and coding set by their accounting manager, and see supplier payment history. Let's start at the beginning of your client's journey using APtimise. Once your client has logged in and landed on the dashboard page, they will see a summary of payments awaiting approval. A summary of payment statuses shown on the right, broken into In Process and Paid. Clicking into the Payment tab will display all items which require attention. APtimise is able to cater for multiple workflows dependent on your client's preferences. If your client would like to inspect individual payments, they are able to do so by clicking into each supplier name. Alternatively, they can approve payments as a batch. From here, your client has a number of ways to authorize payments. From the Payment tab, your client can inspect the payment information and invoice detail by clicking into the vendor name. At this stage, they will also have the opportunity to easily approve, hold, or reject the payment from here. When they are satisfied with the submission, they click the Approve button, followed by the Proceed to Confirmation button. A payment summary box appears for one final check before they click Submit. An alternative method that clients might find beneficial and take advantage of is from the Payments tab, where you can, in one action, single-click approve on all outstanding payments. Confirmation is still required, which we can do here. This is again followed by a payment box. APtimise will now show a total of payments about to be submitted, including general ledger cash figures before and after, maintaining visibility of their bank account. Now your client presses Submit. These are the quick and easy actions needed by your client to authorize the payments scheduled in APtimise.